puzzle games. Some people love them, some people hate them, but other people like me are completely indifferent. Puzzle games are a genre I don't play at all. I just don't like playing games where I have to think for long periods of time just to advance a single step. When I play games, I do it to disconnect from everything. So going into a puzzle game after working on something is quite masochist in my opinion. But sometimes, there's a game that takes the puzzle game genre and makes it digestible and fun for people like me. And that game is Hue. Some of you might be asking, Ruben, why the heck are you playing puzzle games if you don't like them? And it's because, one, this game gives me a lot of Limbo vibes. You know, those types of games where story comes first and puzzle comes second. And also because I got it for free in the Epic Game Store, so I'm going to take the advantage of that, you know. But just to be clear, this is a no spoilers review, so I'm not going to be talking about the story. And well, now that this is all settled, let's take a look at Hue and see if it's worth playing. Let's go. Hue's story takes place in a world where everyone sees in monochrome. Being restricted to only shades of grey already puts a perspective to everything. But someone, an unknown narrator, finds a revelation that changes their views on how everything is perceived. And after some bad choices, Hue, the protagonist, sees themselves dragged into this problem. And to find this narrator, Hue will have to explore their surroundings while using the power of color themselves. Wait a second. Hue. Color. I think there's a connection here, but I cannot find... Oh. Hue's gameplay focuses on color first, and this already presents a problem. People with color blindness will have a hard time playing this game, so I'm really glad to know that there's an option to add symbols to the colors so this doesn't become an issue. Still, I find this workaround half-baked, because the true experience of color will be lost to those with this disability. But the level design, man, really good job. I could go level to level with a good pace and understand everything with just a simple look, because they understand how level design works. Let's take this part of the game for instance, the crates. You can see that they are introduced fairly quick, and when you see them for the first time, they aren't affected by color. But as the game goes on, you can see them colored, higher or wider, getting used to block lasers or being used to activate pressure plates, for example. The puzzles themselves might be great, but giving you room after room of puzzles without anything different to shake things up will start to bore you. So thankfully, this game adds some light platforming or action sequences in between, just to make you forget that you're playing a puzzle game for a bit, and I appreciate that. Oh, this game also has collectibles, which are called peekers. Checking the map will tell you exactly how many are in each area, but they only act towards completion and doesn't unlock anything, just a little achievement. I feel that there are a bunch of stages that are easily cheesable though. Like, take this clip for instance. I swear this is not the way to do it. And there's also bugs. Not a lot of them, but you're bound to see at least one in your playthrough. By the way, if you get stuck and you want to see every single color in the level, you actually can. If you hold the mouse button or the right joystick, you will see everything in slow motion and in monochrome again. I believe puzzle games must help players see the whole thing to be able to plan ahead, and I appreciate this as well. Without it, I would have been more confused throughout the entire game. In later stages, everything can get so chaotic with so many color combinations that you will need to play this game yourself to understand this. Did I talk about the little touches this game has? No? Like being able to interact with objects even though it doesn't serve any purpose?
Skeleton's hanging over here. Ow! Quit it.
Okay.
Like I said, this game is story first and puzzle second. So there's times where it will explain a chunk of the lore each letter at a time, accompanied with just a straight path to the next room. And that's okay. I like to have breaks in between the main objective, and I know this is just a nitpick, but when this thing happens, I like to take things slowly both outside and inside the game. I want to see the character walk instead of running, and I know that the narrator always finishes before you can even reach the end of the screen. But still, I wish I was able to walk in these parts. And don't worry, Hue isn't like The Witness in terms of difficulty. Even a dummy like myself that doesn't even touch puzzle games was able to beat this game flawlessly in a few hours. So if you're one of those that loves puzzle games and really wants a challenge, you might want to skip this one, unless you really want to know about the story, which I don't find it amazing, but it's good enough to make me slightly interested in Hue's goal and to know more about the narrator. Also, jeez, Hugh, I didn't know you would give me existential dread like. There's one specific lordom that made me question my existence, and I'm like, thanks game, very cool. There are also no lives. If you die, you get sent back to the beginning of the puzzle, just like restarting it yourself from a menu, which you can actually do. So you can't really die, but if you want...
Hello again, Hugh. Hopefully we'll cross paths. Maybe we can visit that waterfall again.
Time to prove you wrong!
After gameplay comes graphics, and they are good at best. Some animations look a bit stiff though. The walking one, for example, looks like it's being reversed when you go forward, and the climbing animation itself looks weirdly comical.
But you're so supreme.
But the audio? Atmospheric and calming music that will be perfect to sleep. The voice acting.
The university gardens were bathed in an earthy orange light.
If you approach a waterfall, the audio actually gets louder. So good! Although, the music doesn't slow down when you hold the mouse button like everything else. This is literally unplayable! In all seriousness, I had fun playing it and using my brain for once. The controls were tight, the environments were great, the story was decently engaging, the level design was spot on, and the puzzles were really easy to understand. The audio, especially the music, was superb. This game took me about 2 hours to finish, and I only got stuck in a couple puzzles, so let's add, I don't know, 20 minutes just to be generous. For a game that costs $15, I think the price is slightly off. I would gladly pay the Nintendo Switch version, which costs $10. But after seeing the overall quality of this product, I wouldn't mind to spend those 5 extra bucks just to support the devs. But if you can't save it, and yes, after all this time, it's time to review the score of this game. Starting with... Controls, 5 out of 5. Graphics, 4 out of 5. Audio, 5 out of 5. Content for the price, 3 out of 5. And finally, fun, 4 out of 5. The final score is a total of 8.4 out of 10. This game was a great discovery, and if it wasn't by the fact that I have to review games and that I'm kinda desperate, I won't have played this game at all. But I'm glad I did. It's just a great game and you should play it. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching and watching it through the end. If you're already a sub, I just want to say thank you for keeping to support me. I know I messed up the words, but thanks for supporting me. And I hope I can see you in another video. And if you are new to the channel and you like this video, why don't you subscribe, hit the bell, and give it a like? It helps. It helps. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Be safe out there, okay? Goodbye.
Time to prove you wrong!